It facilitates crucial purchases such as homes, vehicles, education, and healthcare, essential for ongoing stability to pursue their aspirations, this statement added. Now, through responsible repayment, individuals build credit histories, unlocking more opportunities for a better life. Additionally, the increased demand for goods and services stimulates local industry and job creation. The president believes every hardworking Nigerian should have access to social mobility, with consumer credit playing a pivotal role in achieving this vision. In line with the president's directive to expand consumer credit access to Nigerians, the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation has launched a portal for Nigerians to express interest in receiving consumer credit. Now, this initiative, in collaboration with financial institutions and cooperatives nationwide, aims to broaden consumer credit availability. The statement noted, adding that working Nigerians interested in receiving consumer credit can visit, the Consumer Credit Corporation websites to express interest before the deadline date of May 15, 2024. The scheme will be rolled out in phases, starting with members of the civil service and cascading to members of the public. The objectives of the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation include: 1. Strengthening Nigeria's credit reporting systems, ensuring every economically active citizen has a dependable credit score. This score becomes personal equity they build, facilitating access to consumer credit. 2. Offering credit guarantees and wholesale lending to financial institutions dedicated to broadening consumer credit access today. 3. Promoting responsible consumer credit as a pathway to an improved quality of life, fostering a cultural shift towards growth and financial responsibility. All right. So it's maybe for you, I don't know, you might be thinking it's a good idea. For others, they may not agree. But it looks like a good idea on paper, right? It looks like something that will help tackle corruption. How do I mean? So, our society has grown to be a material-based society. Our society has grown to the point where we judge people's success by the car they drive, the phone they use, the kind of clothes they wear. And, these are the things that we use to judge if a man is wealthy or not. And this has made a lot of people put pressure on themselves and put their hands in corrupt practices so that they can afford houses, cars. And even though sometimes you and I would agree that these things are essential to making life easy and making one very productive. And the president had mentioned it sometime last year that this will help in the fight against corruption. But then there is the Nigerian factor, which I am thinking we need to put into consideration. So we've talked about, on certain occasions, we've talked about the issue of loan apps running after Nigerians, even using some inhumane ways to get back monies that were, borrowed from some of those loan companies. We've had conversations of governments rolling out schemes. For instance, what they call, is it the farmer? There's the name. Oh, that just skipped me now. The trader money, is it the farmer money, something like that? We've had all of these schemes, and the reports that we get are that these people have not been able to return what they collected as loans so that other people can benefit, from the schemes. We have also seen schemes where the CBN under Emefiele doled out money for business people, millions, and said, okay, what business idea do you have? Come collect, help the society become better. A lot of people did not pay back as I'm talking to you. Now, the idea was, we collect your BVN, your NIN, and then the account you put therein, we will be deducting from source. Some people abandoned those account details and started using other bank accounts. And up until today, government is still struggling to recover those funds. There is also the issue of database. Up till today, Anchor's borrowers, thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much. I've just seen your message on WhatsApp. Up till today, they're still trying to get money from the farmers, from the Anchor borrowers' money that they gave to the farmers. I do remember one of the newspapers did a piece and they interviewed some of the farmers, and some of them were saying, see, we have taken our own share of the national cake. Some farmers went, married new wives. I mean, they forgot the fact that they were farmers if at all they were farmers in the first place. There is also the issue of corruption, where the people running these schemes are asking for kickbacks, and as such, the scheme never really gets to the point where the scheme is supposed to get to. Now, I'm not trying to be a naysayer. If there's anything you can describe me by, I'm always positive about government schemes and government ideas and all of that stuff, whether at the state level, the federal level, or even at the local government levels, right? And so the question I'm asking today is, will the Nigerian factor, I mean, you can once again argue on paper that this is such a noble idea. It is what is running. So yeah, if you do have a friend or a relative abroad, they'll tell you that in some of these countries, the civilized Western countries, a lot of the people there are living on borrowed items. Their houses, they're paying for mortgages every now and then. Their cars are mortgaged, their phones, everything. They pay in bits and in pieces. But will the Nigerian factor allow this work? We hear that the government has earmarked 100 billion to kickstart. Nigerians like to pay outrightly for stuff. Nigerians, if not for condition, like we would say in our local parables and parlance, would necessarily not like to owe anybody anything. That's the Nigerian culture, right? So I have observed. Don't you think a Nigerian would prefer that the 100 billion earmarked, for a loan scheme like this would have been used to maybe upgrade the power sector that we always seen the national grid collapse, give us steady power supply. I wonder if we can pay for it, by the way, but that's another argument for another day, so that businesses can thrive, so that people can expand and employ more people, and people can also become creative. Or better still, use a part of that money to build industries. We've been arguing the start date of the refinery in Port Harcourt and also the one in Warri. They have been, the talks about mining, illegal mining in the northern part of the country and even in the southwestern part of the country. Maybe we could build mines and we could build stuff that could help refine some of these things that we have underneath our soil. Now, there is a report that I saw in passing. I didn't necessarily read it, but it says Africa's cocoa is no longer becoming, something that is needed internationally. And I was thinking when I saw the headline that maybe these other countries have now found a way to get cocoa. Maybe they have taken ours, planted it, and now they have it in abundance and they no longer need ours. And you see, the problem is in Africa, we failed to refine our raw materials and we just kept exporting raw materials up on, for instance, crude oil may go into the state of less significance. And at that point, I wonder what we will be doing with our crude oil because we can't even refine it in good amounts. So I'm wondering if a typical Nigerian, an average Nigerian would have preferred if there were factories, refineries, industries that could have been set up with 100 billion, to help Nigerians get jobs, help businesses thrive, and make people earn more money and people would want to use the money they've earned to pay directly for items, because I feel like the Nigerian man finds it difficult to pay back a loan that he has borrowed. That's another angle to look at it from. But more importantly, what are your thoughts on this issue? Because I'm also looking at it from the angle of corruption. I'm looking at it from the angle of corruption. Look at the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Once again, noble idea. Very noble idea. I'm just going to go to the phone lines, but I think I do have a commercial coming up in about 30-40 seconds time. So I'm going to take a pause now. When I do come back, you and I will talk. The number's 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Do you think this is a good idea and it will work in Nigeria? How would it affect the economic situation? I mean, we're finding it very difficult to get stuff for young people. It's really more difficult these days to, start life, rent a house, buy properties in the house. But with this credit score thing or the credit scheme, you will be able to get, some of these items on credit. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are. And we'll talk about this and many more when we come back from the break. Just stay tuned. Faction 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakorubatibo. It's my pleasure, always my pleasure having you on the other side of the radio. Let's get talking. It's time for you to call in and tell me what you think about this consumer credit scheme. I'd like to get your thoughts. This is something you're going to try. How do you think it's going to impact the economy? We are complaining things are very expensive. We are complaining things are inflated. We can afford a bag of rice, bag of these, television sets, cars, houses. Do you think this will be something that will help in terms of achieving some of these things that we desire, from phones to, I've listed them and I don't want to list them again. So 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. There is 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp number 0809 0306 92.3 Nigeria Info. What's on your mind?
Good evening, my friend Canada. My name is Akanto.
Yeah. All right, welcome.
Canada, good evening.
Yeah.
Canada, you had COVID-19 loan. COVID-19. The federal government give loans to several persons. I don't even know that about 10% of those beneficiaries of that loan have refunded the loan. And like what you said, Canada, me I would have endangered the federal government, even the state government, instead of them to be giving loan to Nigeria. For Nigerian mentality, once they collect for any needs from the government, that the state or any level of government, they look at it as they have their own share of the federal, national, or state or local case. In order for them to be using our shops alone, me would have suggested not use it to create jobs. If government are giving some billions of naira for credit loan, this and that, why would they use that to employ youth, seeming youth that are roaming around the street, and that billion index for a year? Why not use that to create industry, to put a good industry, so that youth, seeming youth can use it as a way of surviving. They can use it as a way to survive and sustain their family. For them to give it loan, that loan, someone that did not even have a business. You go to CSC and fabricate any name, corporate affairs, unfunded business unit, unfunded farmers, and at the end of the day, the government will give them that loan. Rather they will carry that money to their house and give it to survive. So to me, I'm against it. Thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you very much, Akanto. Let's take Ken from Ubumini. Ken, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, once more, Canada.
Yeah, greetings to you. Welcome.
I think this loan of a team is a kind of empowering the political stooges. Otherwise, when I was growing up, I observed that loans are only for the civil servants, where they will have the avenue to retrieve the money they had given any of the civil servants. But surprisingly and unfortunately, loans are now given to the supporters of a political parties, where we will no longer find the people and retrieve the funds. If you ask me, the politicians have turned their country into another thing which you and I cannot prospectively talk about. So I don't think that giving loan outside civil servants, students, is advisable.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck from Anthony. Welcome.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
Good evening. Since some time I become very tired
of the policies of Nigerian government, the federal government especially. Now they're talking about consumer loan, right? How about the student loan? How effective is that?
The student loan has just been kick started, was just kick started. So we cannot say if it's going well or not. The question we are looking at right now is the consumer credit scheme. So let's stick with that one.
Okay. But how effective is this one only going to be? Are you sure it's not another way of empowering their supporters? I mean, talking about the political supporters of the president. How are we sure this is going to be? Because we have the problem of refinery here. You don't know the state of this refinery. That was in December. They told us that smoke came out of the refinery and the workers were jubilating. But today, I don't know if that smoke is still coming out. People should be jubilating over the smoke. They are not talking about this. These policies, they are good though. Yes, they are well implemented though. But I doubt if these policies really portray what they are telling us. They are setting these policies for. That is just our problem. We have a lot of paper policy, but the implementation is the other way around.
All right.
So I'm tired of this advocacy.
Okay. All right then. All right. Thank you very much. I'm taking this call. All right. We missed that one. Keep your calls coming in. This one says, good evening, Canada. 100 billion naira loan for citizens' debt payments has both pros and cons. While it could provide debt relief and economic stimulus, it also risks increasing national debt, interest cost, and inflation. Alternative solutions like debt restructuring, financial education, and social safety nets should be considered. These are my thoughts. Divine Favor from Rumi Bekwe. All right, Divine Favor, thank you very much. And this one says, NS Ramoji, it won't work because how will people pay back in developed countries? Those people pay back when they get employed. Yeah, you can go and get credit loan and be sure that you wouldn't get job to pay back. Look, at an average Nigerian man don't want anything from government. But I do think there is the caveat there. I just told you would have a credit score, and that means there is the possibility that you must be working. So, how much are you earning a month will be considered. Are you owing before will be considered. All of that stuff. But I've got Barry D from Ada Judge. Barry D, welcome.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah, Barry D, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Barry D.
Oh, I was wondering. Barry D.
Very much.
Yeah.
My God. Ready looking. Don't make it. I think it'll be a good one if this credit loan scheme is properly implemented very well. But I think they should educate Nigerians on how to get this credit, on how to participate.
I've told you, you just have to go to the website. I think there's a website, so if you go online, you'll see it.
Just that?
Yeah, for now it's for civil servants. So civil servants are the ones who...
Okay, mainly for civil servants.
For now, for the phase one.
Ordinary Nigerians?
I just said for the phase one. It is for civil servants for the phase one.
But they are supposed to start from ordinary Nigerians before the civil.
When you say all Nigerians, what do you mean by
meaning at the end of it?
Do they pay those people?
They have to pay.
That is...
You know, the state government wanted to example low income is it not the government? So it's possible they get them money so they don't pay money in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For me, I want to start things ready. We are ready to school.
All right.
And I think they can transform on it.
All right. Thank you very much, Adam. They me offered what could not hear from you.
My thing I don't know how to create a loan work. I think that commitment and power.
Oh, why did you say
that? Shouldn't come now. Consider that city to me, commitment is not linked to what is the requirement.
Let's talk now. Now, if it's of the hardship, the government is allowing you things on you don't have the entire money to be stopped, right? Are you sure it's a sensitive project you claim it? Can you give me the... So we lost connection there. But one message here to everyone from it says, my experience with his bar at my hand with never many things I in credibility and even government production, not discussion. A new Nigerian civil generous. Yes, let's to I think we'll lost connection. Well, let's take this one. Good evening, Claire. Being nothing calling Guinea. Consumer credit scheme to me is a very good plan. You can imagine a civil servant working to retirement with nothing to show for it. With this scheme, managed well, will be enormous in the life of the people. The loan could be used to build a house which will be taken from source, and before you know, you have a building which ordinarily it would have been difficult, but I pray it shouldn't be a secret plan to empower their political supporters. And this one says, good afternoon, Canada. For me, the loan is a good idea, provided it is for civil servants only. This is because it can be recovered from monthly deduction from salaries. Else, recovery will be very difficult. Odimegu Sonny Didier from Umerelu. But Sonny Didier, it's not just for civil servants, even though it is starting with civil servants. So keep your calls coming in 0817 923 0002 and 0817-923-0003. And this one says, great evening to you, my dearest presenter. The subject of discuss, consumer credit scheme, to me is a welcome development if well implemented. It will help improve lives and empower workers, especially the low-income earners. Let's be hopeful for once in Nigeria's government. Thank you, Kalada, from Onaivi Andrew Woji area. Good job. All right, thank you very much. So I'm waiting for your calls. I want to get your thoughts. Let's see what we have. All right, let's have here. We've got Evan from Show Banner takes. Welcome. Really mind. Yeah, good. You welcome.
Thank you. Yes. You know that president they have been tuned to now. You know something implementing every also our student father they did not. You know they promised that they will give girls, women loan. They did not. You remember that they said they will feed our children for school. They did not up to today, and they have come with another gun again. Are they thinking that we don't have sense or we are stupid? That they will be taught us like this every time. They should know that they are properly served. They are serving us. We're supposed to be higher than them. They're supposed to fear us because we employ them. They are working for us. But because this thing has not been done. If there's any country in Africa they don't know this thing, then everybody will be on the street protesting. Because enough is enough that they have been deceiving us every time.
I've got to go, but thank you very much. Thank you very much, Everest from Choba. We do have a commercial, but when I do come back, we'll talk some more. Remember, after the major news at 6, open season, and we'll look at our conversations for today and possible front page stories. Good evening.